امروز اومدیم یکی از بهترین هتل‌های تورنتو و قراره با یکی از اسطوره‌های بزرگ منچستر یونایتد یعنی جاپ استام ملاقات رو دیدار بکنیم. پس با من همراه باشید. خب بچه‌ها، فردا یکی از بزرگترین و مهمترین مسابقات این فصل منچستر یونایتد یعنی فینال جام حذفی و امروز دقیقاً یک روز قبل از این مسابقه ما یه ایونت خیلی بزرگی داریم توی تورنتو کانادا با حضور جاپ استام و امروز قراره ملاقاتش بکنیم. با من همراه باشید که بریم به مراسم برسیم. اینجا هم همونطور که میبینید مرچ های منچستر یونایتد رو برای فروش گذاشتن. و خوش اومدید. اینجا وسایل پذیرایی که هنوز کامل نشده دارن کاملش میکنن. اینجا بارو داریم. جرزی های منچستر یونایتد که اکثرا برای رونالدوه و این یه دونه امضا شده هم هستش. بیایید که میخوام دور تا دور اینجا رو بهتون نشون بدم. این قسمت همونطور که میبینید جایی هستش که قراره جاپ استام و مجری برنامه بشینه و با هم صحبت بکنن و هوادارا سوالاشون رو بپرسن ازشون. این طرف پروژکتور رو داریم که عکس جاپ استام هست و قراره اینجا یه سری حالا چیزایی که توی شو نشون داده میشه رو اینجا پخش بکنیم. این طرف پرچم منچستر یونایتد و توی این قسمت همونطور که میبینید یه دونه استند داریم که قراره هوادارا وایسن دونه بدونه به صورت حرفه‌ای با دوربین حرفه‌ای ازشون عکاسی بشه با جاپ استام. با من همراه باشید. این طرف یکی از بهترین تابلوهای منچستر رو داریم که خیلی از افراد بزرگ منچستر یونایتد امضا کردن. این طرف امضای وین رونی رو داریم و این طرف دوباره امضای خیلی از بازیکن‌های قدیمی یونایتد که فکر می‌کنم جورج بست هم جزوشون بود. این طرف دوباره یه اسکناس کمیاب از جورج بسته، همونطور که گفتم امضاش اینجا هست و اینجا هم بودش. کفش امضا شده توسط وین رونی، کفش امضا شده پول اسکولز و توپ و کفشی که دیوید بکام امضا کرده. امضای رونالدو، امضای رایان گیگز، بازم امضای خیلی از اساطیر و لژندای منچستر یونایتد. این ورم جرزی های امضا شده است. لیساندرو مارتینز، جاپ استام، دیوید بکام. این طرف کوبی مینو. بخش مورد علاقه من امضای اریک کانتونا. این قسمت هم برای مزایده است، یعنی هر کسی رقم بیشتری پیشنهاد بکنه میتونه اینا رو ببره. اون بخشی هم که دیدید برای قرعه کشی بود. این هم جرزی رشفورد امضا شده است و لوکشا. بریم سر میزامون زیاد شلوغ نکنیم. الان میریم عکس و امضا رو بگیریم از یاپ استام. Thank you very much. So,
what questions do you have? Because you're holding that phone and you've got
actually,
I had a shopping list of questions.
Yeah, I had a lot of questions, but
That's an essay.
you already mentioned about all of them. So, yeah. But one of them is missing, and it said, "What is your opinion on the clubs not having a proper fitness coach and all these injuries this season, especially?"
They're not having a fitness coach because of the injuries. You're thinking they're not having a fitness coach. No, I think they've got one. I think they've got people to help the players out to become fit, stronger as well, and then of course hopefully keeping it up for a long time. The issue can also be that are these players, do they have the physicality to play at this level for a long time, week in or game in, game out, week in, week out. That's the thing as well that you can ask yourself as a club, and also the recruitment. And that's why it's so important if you go back to Sir Jim Ratcliffe stepping into this club, taking hands-on with like the recruitment hopefully, and then looking for players who are able to play 50, 55 games a season. And then of course you can still be injured, but you need to be, your physicality needs to be good as well, so you're capable of playing a lot of games in this very short amount of time. So I think there still are people within the club who are like, monitoring everything, what the players are doing. But it is strange that players are injured, and then there's always that, like, okay, how is it possible that these players are injured? And that's the question what they need to ask themselves, and then of course they need to analyze the season and how everything went and what they've been doing during training sessions as well. But when we played, and is it good to sometimes look back on the time that when we played? It's times are changing. I know as well. Players are changing. Style is changing. Intensity is changing as well. But when we played, I think we had a squad of maybe 19 players, something like that, instead of what now is 25 up to maybe 30 players. And we needed to play almost every game as well. We also played like 3 games a week on the Saturday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, and also again the Saturday and Sunday after that. And we needed to play. And if we were injured, then the boss came up to you and said, "Hey, Jaap, how are you? Yeah, I feel," and well, you couldn't even finish your sentence. And he said, "Okay, you're fit enough, you can play. You go out there," and or you get like an injection, or you get like some tablets that you can use, and you want to play as well. You want to go out there as well. But now times are, and I've been there in that situation myself with other players as well. That sometimes when players are injured, and they know that the team is having difficulty and the results are not there, that instead of saying, "Okay, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to be playing," they're going to be saying that, "Well, I'll take another week. It's fine. Let's see what happens next week." That happens nowadays in football as well.
Yeah, but you guys were winners. That's a big difference.
And with the stories coming out today from The Guardian, from Sky Sport, that it's Erik ten Hag's last game no matter what happens, do you think that will affect the team? Could the players actually turn up because of that and just prove that they're behind the manager?
Well, they can do, and they've done that before, because during the season as well, in certain games when it didn't go well, and everybody thought, okay, he's lost the dressing room, the players won't work for him, and then they played some good games, got good results, and then you have the feeling, okay, the players are willing to work for this manager. The fact that in the papers it already is being said that they spoke to Ten Hag, and Ten Hag is going to be sacked after this particular game is very bad. Should this be the truth, we need to be honest as well. It is very bad management if it was the truth, because you can't do that. But I think to read this in the paper as a player as well, and I think everybody, if you have a little bit of compassion for your your coach or for your teammate in every way as well, then you want to work for him, you want to do well, and you want to get a result. And I think the players want to turn up, and I think the players want to show. And even if they're not doing it for Eric, they need to do it for themselves as well, because you need to win trophies. Because there's nothing better as a player, you know, at the end of the day, at the end of your contract, that you can say, yeah, but I've won the FA Cup, and we beat fucking City. You know, and they were supposed to be the best team. You know, and that's what it's all about, and that's what you need to do. And I think they will support Eric and get a good result and help him out.
Yeah, this season the only way Rasmus Højlund have been getting service from Rashford is when he signed up for this Feed the School Children program. Because he doesn't get anything from him.
From Marcus, no. From Marcus, you don't get a lot nowadays. You know, he finds it very nice to have a couple of extra drinks, I believe, nowadays. No, but you know, Marcus is a great player. I'm very much a fan of Marcus Rashford because he's got the ability, he's got pace, he's got his technique, he's got a very good physique, enormous talent. He's shown that last season as well, you know, when they played more from transition, of course, you know, a different way of playing, winning these balls, playing it straight into Marcus on the break, coming out, being very important for United, scoring a lot of goals, and that brought him also this big contract, of course. The thing is that now, of course, everybody is you know, leaning on him, or everybody is expecting Marcus to do well, to perform again, to score as many goals that he scored last season, and now he's struggling. And he finds it very hard, and that maybe comes as well that he feels pressure. I don't know, and we look at it from the outside. You guys as well. I do that as well. You know, you look at it from the outside, and you're thinking, "Oh, what the hell's going on with this guy?" You know, he's not performing. He's not taking players on. He's not producing. He's not giving the delivery, you know, to the front man as well. He's not scoring himself as well, and that's hard to see. And sometimes you have the feeling that the people around him as well are not putting him in his place in what he needs to do, you know, because it's very, very nice for a young kid like he is as well to earn a lot of money, and you have like a sort of like how you say status that people look up to you, and he himself maybe as well, he feels that as well. But you need to know you're only a star when you're performing like 10 or 12 years more or less like that at a certain level. Then you can say you're a superstar. You know, in football we've only got like a couple of superstars, isn't it? It's Messi, it's Cristiano Ronaldo, who played for United, of course, as well. You know, the others are not superstars yet. You know, they need to go over there, and it's about consistency, about delivering the quality of football that you need to do for that year in, year out, and then you can say, okay, I'm one of the best players in the world. And for Marcus, I think he's got the ability to, for sure, to get close to that level, but he needs to step up. He needs to make a change in his maybe way of living, but also in his way of playing.
Do you think that his £400,000 contract that he signed has affected him?
What do you think?
I think he did. Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Is it bad for a player? What do you think? Get him out?
Get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
No.
Get him out. You don't think it's attitude?
He was never worth 300,000, 400,000.
He's not worth it.
He's a very inconsistent player. He's very moody, so he was never worth that money.
Yeah, but there's always, you know, you hear like different opinions about plays, and that's sometimes the beauty of football as well. But it's about management at times as well. It is how to manage a player, how to give the player then, of course, confidence, you know, and get the best out of this player. I think every person is different. So you're different than he is, and he is, and she is. So maybe you need to treat players differently as well to get the best out of this particular player, so he can go to a certain level to produce. And I understand certain comments as well, and it's very easy. It is very easy to say about a team or about players, to say he's not performing. Oh, you're fucking shit. You need to go. Because a lot of people say that. Oh, he's not producing. Oh, he's not working hard. You need to work harder. Because sometimes that's not the issue. Sometimes maybe a player wants to play in a certain way, wants to work hard. Maybe sometimes, you know, from the manager, he gets an assignment and saying, okay, you're only allowed to do this. You're only allowed to make your runs, you know, from the outside or inside, and you don't go around because the opposition is playing like that, you know. So and that's how he needs to think as well. And then other people look at him and thinking, hey, why is he not doing this? He could have done that, you know. So you always need to, look at it from a different way as well when you look at a certain player as well. And for Marcus, I wouldn't, say to him, okay, you need to go away, go and play for a different club. I would, let him stay at United, play for another year, see how it goes next season. But one thing's for sure, get better players in, because we need to have more quality within the squad, which is very important. Because if you have more quality in the team, it helps out other players as well to perform. When I came to United from PSV Eindhoven, I was a nobody from PSV Eindhoven. Most expensive defender, but I was a nobody. Nobody knew me. And you're coming into a team, and people and from outside, they expect a lot from you as a player. They want you to produce. Everybody, you're thinking, oh, okay, we paid 10 million pounds for this player. Nowadays you buy a couple of, a pair of boots for that in the Premier League. But back in the day, you're the most expensive defender, But people expect a lot from you at that time. But when you're playing, you need to have good players around you. When I joined a team with the likes of Scholesy, with Giggsy, with Keno, of course, as well, Schmeichel, Yorkie, Coley, they help you out. They support you as a player as well.
Been struggling since Sir Alex Ferguson, had the Glazers as owners, who likes Americans. And then Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in. How do you think he will change it?
Well, hopefully he's going to do something about recruitment, because we've seen the team the last couple of years. I think the owners, and then we need to be honest in that as well, they've spent a lot of money. They invested a lot of money within the club. They bought quite a few players for a big amount. It didn't work out in terms of the quality that came into the club. You can see that in the football as well. How the team's been playing. So Jim Ratcliffe came in now, taking over. The part of football about recruitment as well, and I think that's a big thing. I think they need to change the recruitment. They need to be aware of bringing good players in. They need to hire good people who understand Manchester United, what they're standing for, how they need to play, what's been asked from players as well, and how to live for the club as well. But especially, players with the quality to bring the football to a certain level. And hopefully he can do that. He's done that with his team in France, I believe. With his businesses, of course, he's been doing that. And I'm sure he's going to help the club going forward as well.
You think he will change manager?
Oh.
Not putting out the spot or anything.
No, but that question's been raised a lot, of course, and I don't think it's the answer to change the manager. I don't think you need to say to Eric now after 2 years, okay, you haven't performed this season, you need to go, you need to leave. I don't think you need to do that. I think first season he's been doing well. Went into the Champions League, a Carabao Cup, FA Cup final as well. You always know when you're starting a project, when you want to build to a certain level, it takes time, because you need to have a couple of transfer windows as a manager as well. To look at the players, to see what players need to leave the club, players that you want to get into the club as well, the quality of the players, and it takes several years as well. I think when Pep stepped into City as well, they didn't perform straight away from the first season. How they wanted to play or winning big trophies. They needed to have their time as well to build the club to a certain level. The only thing that happened with City is that his friend was, technical director was there as well. The belief, the support for him was there as well. They stuck with him as well, and eventually they've been growing to a certain level. And with Eric, I don't think you need to get rid of him. And it's not because he's Dutchman, but he is a good manager. No, he is a great manager. He's got a good philosophy about football and how he wants to play. But the only thing is that you need to have players, within your team that can play your style of playing, that can execute that well. And you see that players in this squad are struggling to do so.
You mentioned City there and Guardiola building up City. I think the 115 charges would maybe put a damper on it. You and me disagree a bit about the one striker that left under Erik ten Hag and Cristiano Ronaldo. But we went from Cristiano Ronaldo to Wout Weghorst in Manchester United.
Yeah, well, it's similar players, aren't they?
Yeah, almost.
That's not a big difference.
Same goal scoring record, yeah?
Yeah. No, but with Cristiano is one of the best strikers in the world. We all know that. Even now at his age, if you see how his body is, his physique, it's tremendous, it's unbelievable. This guy is a real professional and he's working very hard to stay at that level. Being at United, and probably, you know, Ten Hag coming into the club, Manchester United, working with Cristiano as well, and I always said you might assume that he had spoken with Cristiano before he went to United to actually work over there, to tell him what the plan is. You know, you might assume that happened. I don't know if it did, but you might also assume that he spoke to him then and said, okay, I'm going to play with this playing style, I want you to do this, I want you to press, you need to run, you need to do this. Are you willing to do so? Can you deliver that quality of work? And then, okay, ask him the question, yes or no. And if he would have said, no, I'm not willing to do that, whatever, then, you know, it would have been maybe easy to say, okay, then we need to find a solution for you to maybe leave the club. You know, he stayed. Ten Hag asked a lot from him as a player. I don't think he was too happy with that. You know, we can all see, and when we saw Cristiano's face and how he reacted to certain situations, you know, when Eric spoke to him. But yeah, then as a manager, you need to make decisions, and then you need to do what's best for the team. And Cristiano, the player that he is, the personality that he has as well. A lot of young young players are going to go to him. You know, he draws a lot of people towards him, and also when Cristiano then is not happy, you know, that goes to these players as well. You know, so they become negative as well. You know, and when the younger players or the other players become negative as well, it's a bad thing for the team to eventually produce a certain level of football. Then as a manager, you need to make a choice. You need to make a change. Yeah, and of course, we all loved, I would have loved Cristiano to stay at United as well and then perform and play in a certain way and score a lot of goals. You know, but you also need to think about the big picture, about what's more important for the team, and that's why Ten Hag made a decision for Cristiano. Okay, you need to go, you need to leave the club because it's a bad influence maybe for other players.
Yeah,
which I can understand as a manager that you act like that.
Yeah, that's not the part I disagree with. I just think he should have done it in the summer and got rid of it.
Yeah, but and that's the thing that we don't know. You know, did he speak to him already? Did they spoke? Did they make certain agreements during pre-season? You know, didn't it work out? You know, did they clash in a certain way? That's how it can happen, of course.
And Erik ten Hag had so many difficult decisions with things happening with Ronaldo. We had the David De Gea situation, taking the captaincy of Maguire.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho's tweet.
Yeah.
You think all of them really helps him now to keep his job because he dealt with those kind of situations?
Well, you know, I think you need to be firm in how you act as a manager, because you need to be, you're the boss, so you need to stand for your things, and you explain that to your team, to your players, and they need to do that as well. They need to, you know, live by it, and if they don't do it, then there are consequences, and that's how you need to be as a manager. So I think that's fair to do so. The only thing that I'm really, I was not negative, but about Maguire. You know, I think what Harry did was truly tremendous, because he was in a situation that he could leave, or they wanted him to leave the club. You know, he stuck with it. He stayed within the team, within the club, knowing that he wasn't going to be playing because other players came into the club. Varane, Martinez, of course, was there as well. You know, but he stayed at the club, got playing, and now he's one of the best players if he's out there. You know, so he deserved a lot of respect for myself as well, because back in the day I said as well, you know, if I was Maguire, I would have left the club. You know, if they treat you in a certain way, you know, they don't want you to play, no captain anymore. You know, I would have left the club straight away. But he stuck by it, you know, and played again, and was one of the best players. You know, I didn't do that when I had a small battle with Fergie. I fucked up.
You talk about the yeah.
So Harry is a better man than I am.
The score tomorrow.
Yeah, 3-1.
3-1 United.
Yeah. Oh, I told you I'm positive. You know, I have a good feeling. You know, if they go from the first minute, if they go and they are very aggressive on top of them on City, you know, they grab them by the throat, you know, and don't let them loose, and they can score hopefully very, very quick. It's going to be very difficult for City, and it's going to give United the confidence to keep on going. The only thing that United doesn't need to do, which is difficult against City, is to score and then sit back and waits and waits and waits and waits, you know, for maybe a moment to come out on the break. Because if you do that against a team like this, then it becomes a very difficult situation. You know, but this is a game, you know, that you've got nothing to lose. You know, you need to go into this game and fight really hard, you know, to win that cup, to win that trophy. And I am very confident they're going to do that tomorrow.